This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, Yahweh, dwell among the children of Israel.
Why did you wish to sail west?
To open a new route to Asia. Asia is the richest kingdom, the land of spices and gold. At the moment, there are only two ways of reaching it. By sea, sailing around the African continent. The journey takes a year. Or by land. But the Turks have closed this route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
The distance is unknown. It's said to be infinite.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
How can you be so certain?
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Esdras is a Jew.
So what's worse?
2 minutes, and already you're a dead man.
For telling the truth?
Yes. They are burning people for less. The men you're about to confront have no emotion.
So there you go. I'm going to bring this part back.
It. By sea, sailing around the African continent.
It says, this is the book of Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity.
The journey takes a year. Or by land. But the Turks have closed this route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
The distance is unknown. It's said to be infinite.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
How can you be so certain?
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Esdras is a Jew.
It says Esdras is a Jew. Okay, so this shows you that the book of Esdras, the Apocrypha is validated, and even the book of Esdras, because they're telling you in this movie history of how Christopher Columbus knew to sail to this side of the earth. Okay, and he knew who he was coming for. All right. And he knew because he read the book of Esdras. So if we go into the book of Esdras chapters, and you see it on the screen, you can follow along, showing you that, you got some people that say that the Native Americans aren't Israelites, which is completely wrong, absolutely obnoxious and unlearned. Okay, then you got people that also say, the same people usually will say that the Edomites, okay, who are the biblical Edomites, Esau, who are really the Caucasians or the so-called white people, they'll tell you that these people are the Arabs. Okay, which none of this lines up with history, man. Okay, hey, there's so much knowledge out here. You can, get it just by studying, man. That's why Scripture says to study, to show thyself approved. Okay, but this lesson is going to be going into the wickedness of Thanksgiving. Okay, because really when you celebrate Thanksgiving with your family, you are, giving praise to and giving thanks for, the slaughter of the Native American Indians, which are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, the 10 tribes. Okay, you are giving thanks to these people are giving thanks in America to how they were able to acquire this land. Okay, and we know all this knowledge through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Makakwadash. That's all praise to the Most High, name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles, the great men who teach real well, who taught us this truth. Okay, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. My name is Ibar from the Prophets in Babylon camp down here in Tampa, Florida. All right. Now let's get into it. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 40. It says, those are the 10 tribes. What 10 tribes? The 10 tribes of Israel. There's 12 tribes, but these 10 tribes is talking about the northern kingdom, which today we call the so-called Hispanics or your Latinos, okay? Your Native American Indians, okay? It says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, because the northern kingdom was in captivity to the Assyrians. Okay, and they were led away captive. He says, and he carried them over the waters. Now, was this talking about a puddle? No, this is talking about the oceans. He carried them over the waters, so they came into another land. You see, so this is going into, how the northern kingdom got over to this side. It says, but they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen. So they would leave after they got out of that captivity. Okay, after that slavery, that captivity was over. They said, we're going to leave because they ain't just want to be freed among the heathen. They said, we're going to go leave from among the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. So there's this further country is talking about America. Okay, where never mankind dwelt. So the first people that were here to discover this land were the northern kingdom. Okay, which are the Hebrew Israelites of Ephraim, Manasseh. The list goes on and on. You got the 12 tribes. Okay, but this is the northern kingdom of the house of Israel, man. The 10 tribes. When they came over here, they were the first ones to dwell on this land. So Christopher Columbus, whose real name is Cristobal Colon, didn't discover anything. You see, it says that they might there keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. So they came over here, and they came over here to keep the statues and not, go off. You see, but eventually they end up going off, and you see glimpses of that in the movie Apocalypto. Okay. And what it shows you is that, Jake was over here committing, sacrifices unto devils and stuff, sacrificing each other and stuff, unto idols, And because of that, in the end of that movie, they showed you that those ships were coming. Okay. And those ships were showing you, those ships were showing you these colonizers coming, man. Okay, which is the judgment of the Most High. Esau is the Most High sword. So whenever we going off, he's saying this man is a punishing stick. Okay, it says, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow place of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the water, and had still the flood, till they were passed over. So the Lord guided this path, man. He guided them over here. Okay, because prophecy had to be fulfilled. This is ultimately how America was established. Okay. And like I said, this is in the book of the Apocrypha, in the book of 2nd Ezra, and you see the scripture on the screen. It says, for the Most High then showed them signs and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely 1.5 years. Now you see here, he said, let me see if I can find it. What do you say? He said it'll take about 1 year.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
Can you be so certain?
The calculations of Toscanelli, Marin de Tir, Esdras.
Esdras is a Jew.
So what's worse?
2 minutes, and already you're a dead man.
For telling the truth?
Yes. We are burning people for less.
Okay, Salakia. So this movie is called in 1492, The Conquest to Paradise.
Why did you wish to sail west?
To open a new route to Asia. Asia is the richest kingdom, the land of spices and gold. At the moment, there are only two ways of reaching it. By sea, sailing around the African continent. The journey takes a year. Or by land. But the Turks have closed this route to all Christians. There is a third way. By sailing west across the ocean sea.
The distance is unknown. It's said to be infinite.
Superstition. I believe the Indies are no more than 750 leagues west of the Canary Islands.
Can you be so certain?
The calculations of...
So she said pretty much, you know, take about a year. It says, verse 45, it says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Ashereth, which is what America was originally called. It says, then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come. So you see, this is where they dwelt, man. The northern kingdom dwelt until the latter time, you know, even until this day, we're still on the side of the earth, you know, but you know, to the latter time, and then that's when they began to come, you know, these these conquistadors, okay, these conquerors. And so, Lockie, this video is gonna be a little back and forth, you know, loppy doppy. All right, but bear with me. You know, you might have to flip the screen here and there.
By the Europeans,
I was going to do it. You know, I decided just to knock this out and get it out the way raw. I'm gonna upload it raw, so you know, bear with me. But I'm gonna show you a bunch of different clips here. And matter of fact, let me go here. I want to show you this first.
The Pequot people were burned alive in the middle of their sleep at night in 1637. Mass Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, Providence Plantation, Mystic Seaport, all English colonies banded together to burn women and children while they slept in a village at night. They barricaded the exit. They did not allow anyone to leave. They wanted them to burn. They were proud that they burned. This country was proud to write. We could smell their burning, rotting flesh for over a mile away. It's written, folks. Please read it on your own. I am not making this up. Stephen King can't make this up. He was so proud, the town of Norwich, Connecticut, had a statue honoring this man up until roughly a decade ago. John Mason, the man who murdered over 700 people. When anyone, the few people who were able to survive that Holocaust, they were rounded up. They were sold as slaves. Before they were sold, they were marched all the way from Connecticut to Mass Bay Colony, present-day Boston. They were placed on trial. They were declared to be sold as slaves. But before they sent them on that slave ship, they had to humiliate them some more. And they read a declaration that those people shall not ever, once again, even utter the word Pequot. They will no longer be able to call themselves a Pequot. I am proud to say, I'm a Mashantucket Pequot. This is the history, folks. Because that particular day, that particular incident, is when this country declared its second religious day of Thanksgiving.
There you go. So that's how you get, you know, Thanksgiving. All right. And we're going to go into a little more history, the true stories of Thanksgiving. All right. But this is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 19. It says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. And Gad is the Native American Indians. Okay. And that troop was Esau, man. You know, when they came over here with those conquistadors, you know, and pretty much conquered, you know, this side of the world. All right, through unrighteous dealings, man. And now this man is being found out. You know, hey, everybody's calling this man out. You know, all this history is coming out on this man. Okay, and this is something that Esau cannot run from. No matter what he tried to do, he cannot hide. He cannot run from this history because, hey, A day of reckoning is coming. All right, a day of reckoning is coming. Let's go here.
Did you know the genocidal history behind Thanksgiving? Do you know why we celebrate it? It's not the Pilgrims and the Indians that met in 1621. That was the Wampanoag who investigated settlers and pilgrims shooting off guns. And they just were shooting guns because they were celebrating not having starved to death. But the reason that the Thanksgiving holiday is celebrated every year is in 1637, a white man was discovered dead in a boat. So what happened? English major decided that he'd blame the Pequots. So they burned 400 men, women, and children to death. The next day, Plymouth Mayor William Bradford came out and said, let's celebrate this day of Thanksgiving for this victory we have won. And that's what we celebrate every year. Check out my article, 6 Myths of Thanksgiving by Vince Schilling. Check it out. That's what we celebrate, a bloody day.
There you go. So that's where you get Thanksgiving from, man. It was all about genocide, man, you know. And then that's how these Edomites got this land. And now they're proud and they're boasting over having this land. You know, they're thinking that, you know, they can just, you know, keep this land, or it's their land now. And, you know, they even go as far as kicking the so-called Mexicans, which are, you know, a part of those 10 tribes, trying to kick them out and tell them that they're aliens, you know, which is, hey, this man got hell to pay for, man. But it shows you that, you know, they're giving thanks on this day. This is a history declarated to giving thanks to getting this land through rape, robbery, and murder, man. Okay, complete genocide. All right, and they even taught us this in school. All right, taught us about the Trail of Tears. Okay, the manifest destiny, how it was, you know, God manifested for them to get this land and do what they did unto our people, which is, you know, in a way true, you know, because we had went off. But it's also going to be manifest destiny for, you know, the Lord said that what a vengeance is his, and he's going to, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, man. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. All right, here is the patience of the saints, and we are the saints. So, hey, man, hey, Esau's day in court is coming, man. All right, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart or mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. You see, so this man is going to get brought down, you know, and all his piety and pride, he's going to get brought down, man. And this is what we're starting to see. We are in beginning stages, man. You had a year ago or so, you had and it's been happening, you know, on and off, but you have all these statues of these Confederate you know, devils getting torn down, man. And you know, these Edomites got all up in arms. You had Trump even going so far as to saying that if you Jakes don't, you know, learn some history and stop doing what you're doing, you're going to repeat it, saying he's going to put you back in slavery. Okay, so they're proud and they make a mockery of us, man. But a time of reckoning is coming. It says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they have had enough? If gate gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? So if you know, was dealing with anybody else, man, you know, and they came and robbed and stole from you, they will leave something, man. Eventually they will stop, you know, they will be cut off. But Esau took everything, man. You know, he took our land, he took our heritage, he took our culture. Okay, and then he makes a mockery of us about it. It says, verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And these are things that they are desperately trying to hide. You know, they're trying to get, you know, slavery out of the history books. You know, they don't want to talk about what they did to the Native American Indians too much. You know, and every time somebody brings it up, you know, these guys, they're all up in arms. You know, they're all up in arms because they know that they have hell to pay. Okay, they got hell to pay, man, and they gonna pay it. All right, so let's go back here. Before we start this, let me grab this. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, verse 8. It says, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So because of unrighteous dealings, you know, they broke treaties, You know, when they came, you're gonna hear about it more in this video. But when they came, the Native American Indians, and I just posted this video. I might not play the whole video, or I just might, but they just posted this video up, okay, and it goes into pretty much all that these devils have done to the Native American Indians, okay, and even beyond. All right, so you can watch that. But I'm gonna finish this. It says because of unrighteous dealings and riches got by deceit, you know, through lying, you know, robbery, you know, not righteously, man. The kingdom has been translated from one people to another. So at one point we was in power, and now they're in power, and they got it through unrighteous dealings, injuries, you know, stealing and killing. Okay, when Isaac gave Esau his blessing, which was the sword, he told him that he was going to get everything by the sword. Okay, which is what? Injuries, man. You know, a sword is a weapon of destruction. It says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. And Esau is very covetous, man. He can never have enough. You see, this man can never have enough, man. You know, he covet, you know, whole nations that are not his. You know, he goes to lands and he bombs whole lands and goes to war with whole nations, man. And then he puts out this propaganda that the so-called black man is the most violent and dangerous man on the earth. But yet you are going to war and bombing whole nations for their resources. You robbing people and bombing whole nations. Jake might rob a couple people, you know, in his life. You know, he may rob a op at a gas station. He may rob an old lady at a, you know, a damn convenience store, whatever it may be. But this man robs whole nations, man, and even goes too far to execute genocide on whole nations. Look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Okay, this man has a track record. Okay, but the so-called black woman has been deceived and will tell us the same rhetoric that the so-called white man told her, and that's that the so-called black man is the most violent and vicious beast on the earth, when the reality is this man. You see, but he's a crafty devil. He's very deceiving. He can make you feel like, you know, or make it seem like he's the righteous or he's not so bad. Scripture says that the devil himself changes into an angel of light, you know, masqueradeth as an angel of light, roughly paraphrasing. All right, so that's this man, the so-called white race, you know, the deceiver, which means he deceived the whole world. Devil means a deceiver, and he's masquerading as an angel of light. You know, he painted himself as the image of the Messiah. Okay, all types of madness, man. It says Obadiah chapter 1 verse Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So hey, they got hell to pay, man. Okay, they got hell to pay, and like I said, I'm gonna show you in this video. Just hold on one second. You gonna see. Okay, I'm gonna give me the scriptures out. Verse 15: for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, not just you Edomites, but all you heathens had a play in our spoils, man. Had your hand in our spoils, you know, and in our destruction. Had your hands in our captivity, man. You know, and if you didn't have us literally in captivity, then you benefited off of it in some way, form, or fashion. Okay, and you damn sure was not, you know, kicking up no smoke about us being slaves. Okay, so guess what? You gonna have to pay too. You know, you are an accessory to the crime. Okay, it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So there you go. You know, the reward shall return upon thine own head, man. And the Lord is going to make an example out of America, an example out of Esau, okay, in his kingdom, man. Just like how he did with Egypt, you know, in ancient Egypt. The Lord made an example out of that, out of that place. Okay, and he's about to do that all over again. He's about to make an example out of this place. Okay, let me grab this real quick. It's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And this video is going to show you who is the wicked, how he got the world. Okay, where and who is he, man? Okay, because you're going to find out that this man is a complete demon, you know. And this is why we come out to warn you, you know. We come out and we warn you people of, you know, what this man is all about. Okay, Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, it says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we shall return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. This man is the border of wickedness. He's the border at all wickedness on earth. He is the border of it. He is at the front of it. Okay, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. And indignation means righteous anger, man. Okay, and the Lord is righteous to be angry at this place, man. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let this video play. All right, so you can just get an idea of this devil that we're dealing with, man. All right.
Christopher Columbus, one of the great European heroes, turns up on the island of Hispaniola. He was welcomed by the native people. They embraced them, they treated them with fantastic hospitality. His soldiers snatched babies from the breasts of their mothers and dashed their heads against the rocks. Children were fed alive.
You heard that? So this is these Edomites' hero, man. All right, this is their hero, and you see what he was doing to us, man. Okay. He was dashing babies' heads against the stones. And like we said, all that they have done shall return upon thine own head. So as you eat this, abominable, which, they have already said that this is going to be one of the most, I'm going to go into that, it's a video of one of these guys talking in those Senate houses or whatever. And he said how 2021 is going to be the most expensive Thanksgiving dinner of the year. I saw an article from RT, okay, about how people, are going to be eating Thanksgiving dinner, how they're going to be giving out Thanksgiving dinner in their can. The turkey, the cranberry, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, everything in one can. Okay, which shows how bad it's getting out here. But people are still blinded, man. Okay. Now going back to what he said right there, it says Psalms chapter 137 says, verse 7, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, which are you Caucasians, okay, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. These devils were cheering as we were getting destroyed, man. As they sacked Jerusalem, they were saying, hip, hip, hooray, hip, hip, hooray, okay. Who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. We're going to reward you as you served us, man. Everything that you have served us with, everything that you have rewarded us with, we're going to serve it back to you. Like you get served a subpoena. Every time Esau comes out, he passed by one of the camps and he sees us out of teaching, he's getting served a subpoena, man. We are telling him his judgment. Okay, you gotta appear in court. Okay. For all the crimes, man. Okay, the old and the new. As happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth his little ones against the stone. So when this time comes back, when the shoe is on the other foot, okay, Esau ain't gonna be the only one in history dashing babies against stones, man. You got history of this man tearing, the baby out of, he came over here, he took the native women. And the pregnant woman, and he will cut the baby out of her stomach, step on the baby's head, and then kill the woman, man. This man has a hell to pay for. Okay, and he's trying to escape out of it, but there is no running from, judgment, man. I'm gonna go here before I go any further. I'm gonna bring the video back. It says Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their father. So you Edomite can say, oh, I didn't have to do that. I didn't have any slaves. That was my forefathers. I didn't do it. Well, technically, you are your forefathers when you go into the understanding of regeneration, okay, or reincarnation. Your spirit was back on this earth. It has came back on this earth. And at one point, it was on this earth doing what you see on the screen. Okay, your spirit has came back. Okay, time and time again. All right. So it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise. And you see how they greeted him with love, and this man was a devil the whole time. Okay, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So you're never going to have another America again, man. Okay, because you're going to prepare slaughter for their children. Your children, which are these modern day Edomites, are going to pay for the old and the new. Okay, it says, for I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut them off from Babylon, name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. So he's gonna cut you off, man. Hey, pretty soon, ain't nobody gonna be anybody gonna know what an Edomite was, man. Okay, and I will also make a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. So that's talking about those thermonuclear missiles, man. Okay, that destroying wind is going to ultimately destroy this place. So all the blood that has been shed here is going to be, rewarded back unto this man with his own blood. All right, I'm gonna bring this back.
Christopher Columbus, one of the great European heroes, turns
European
up on
heroes.
the island of Hispaniola. He was welcomed by the native people. They embraced them. They treated them with fantastic hospitality. His soldiers snatched babies from the breasts of their mothers and dashed their heads against the rocks. Children were fed alive to his dogs. Women's breasts were cut off. He decided to hang 13 of the Native Americans in Hispaniola to recreate the crucifixion of Jesus, plus the apostles. It's true that the majority of people died there of disease. Disease is introduced by the Europeans unwittingly, but many others were driven to death through overwork, direct murder, through starvation as their resources were taken away. Columbus insisted that everybody bring him a certain amount of gold, and those who failed to do so had their hands cut off. Some were sent back to their villages with their hands and their noses tied around their necks, having been amputated by his soldiers. And what he did there set the pattern for the genocidal extermination of almost all the Native American peoples. 100 million before Columbus made landfall. By the 19th century, that had come down to less than 1 million across the Americas. Overtly endorsed by such revered figures as George.
Overtly endorsed. This man killed over 100 million Native Americans, man. Okay, over 100 million Hebrew Israelites. Okay, which is going to be a hell to pay for that, man. Okay, you're not going to just walk away and think it's going to be peaches and cream. All right, this is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery, and prey departeth not. That's like the prey departeth not. So we stuck here, man, in this bloody city that is full of lies and robbery, man. Okay, America never even went to the moon. Everything in this place has, claimed to accomplish and done. They have done it through wickedness, robbery, okay, lies and deceit, man. Okay, and even more so, you got this damn devil, hey, man, you read accounts of how when he came over here, he spoke about how he couldn't put a sword down for 1 hour because he was doing too much slaying and killing, man. This man is a bloodthirsty demon. Okay, you also hear about how whenever they you hear about the land of Puerto Rico, which Puerto Rico means rich port. It's not a rich port now. Okay, when a hurricane came through, you had Trump trying to shoot 3-pointers with rolls of paper towels, man, because those people are in such need over there. But it was called rich port before they robbed it, man. You hear accounts about when the conquistadors came, the settlers came, how they pretty much the kids were playing on the beach with precious stones and jewels. He said how these people were so nice and so generous that they had to be conquered. Okay, this man is a devil. It says Micah chapter 2 verse 1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When it is morning, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So these people have the power, man. Okay, they have the power to be the complete devils that they are. Okay, and they covet fields and they take them by violence. They covet whole nations and take them by violence. You got in all these other nations, you have a U.S. embassy, man. Okay, where they have to pretty much when you near or on that land, that's American soil, man, in your own land. That's like somebody coming to your house and spray painting a patching in your living room and saying, "This right here is my living room now. This right here is my part of the living room. This is my part of the house." Or cutting off a whole section of your house and saying, "This is my house now. I discovered it." Okay. It says, in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house. So you oppress a man and his whole house. You don't just oppress the man. You're oppressing the women, the children, the dog, the cat, You oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So you are oppressing us in our house and our heritage. You know, you are oppressing us from every single angle, man. This man is a devil. Okay, so now before we continue with this video, let me go to another one. This one is called the Doctrine of Discovery. Okay, very so I can for this ad. It's called the Doctrine of Discovery. Okay, I'm gonna play this back, and we're gonna play just a little bit of this play, so you can hear what he has to say. But you know, this shows you how this man was able to conquer lands, you know, and you know, pretty much put it in history, man. They had to dehumanize the people. Okay. $14.92. So okay, I'm gonna read that. It says the Doctrine of Discovery is a series of papal bulls written between 1452 and 1493. It was essentially the church in Europe saying to the nations of Europe, whatsoever land you find not ruled by Christian rulers, meaning Edomites, you know, if you come across a land and we ain't ruling it, those people, because of course there's gonna be people there, are less than human, and the land is yours for the taking. So they saying that if you go into this, if you find this land, okay, and you see people there, and if they ain't us, you can conquer them and take that land, because those ain't people, those are animals. This is the mind of Esau. But the real challenge with the Doctrine of Discovery is the way it has influenced the very foundations of our nation. This is how this nation was founded, man. This is how the nation was completely established. He said how it has influenced. No, it is the foundation, man. It ain't influenced it. It is the foundation. Okay, America was gotten off for rape, robbery, and murder, man. Okay, genocide.
Search out, capture, vanquish, and subdue all Saracens and pagans whatsoever. Reduce their persons to perpetual slavery and convert.
And this how you got Christianity, man, and Catholics, and Catholicism. You have something called the Christian Crusade, where pretty much they went over the whole earth with a picture of Cesare Borgia, who you see today as white Jesus. And, you know, the natives, you know, the people, the tribes, they already knew who the Lord was and what the Lord looked like. They had images and pictures of him. That's why you have something called whitewashing. Okay. They went around and they said, okay, you're not going to worship this anymore. You're going to worship this image. And when our people said no, they killed them, man. They beat you into submission. That's why you see the movie with Kuta Kinte, how they said your name is Toby. They literally beat our heritage and our history out of us. And now we're getting it back in these end times.
Them to his and their use and profit. Anyone know what I'm reading here? These are the words of Pope Nicholas V in a papal bull, or an official edict of the Catholic Church, in 1452. This papal bull, followed by many others from 1452 to 1493, collectively became known as what's called the Doctrine of Discovery. The Doctrine of Discovery is this series of papal bulls that is the church in Europe saying to the nations of Europe, wherever you go, whatever lands you find not ruled by Christian rulers, those people are less than human, and the land's yours for the taking. It was this Doctrine of Discovery that allowed European nations to colonize Africa and enslave the African people. It was also this Doctrine of Discovery that let Columbus, who was lost at sea, land on a continent inhabited by millions and claim to have discovered it, because there were no people here. The notion of discovery is a racist colonial concept that assumes the dehumanization of people of color. If you don't believe me, I welcome you to put your car keys and your smartphones out in front of you, and I will come by and discover them.
And that shit ain't funny, man. That shit ain't funny, because you got Edomites in the crowd laughing. But it won't be funny if that was you that got discovered that way, man. And don't worry, you will. Okay, we gonna discover it all, man. It says, John chapter 10, verse 7, then said Yahushua unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. You see? So these people that came before this truth, before our Lord came, were thieves and robbers. When you see Christianity and Islam and all that madness, those are thieves and robbers, man. They're trying to rob you from, your true understanding of who your true power is and serving him. You see, that's a thief and a robber. Okay? Christianity and all these false pagan religions and these pagan holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and all this madness, it's been perpetuated unto you and by thieves and robbers, man. But the true sheep ain't gonna hear them, because we have woke out of that madness and can't come into the true power Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, man. Some of us got accounts and testimonies of sitting in church and just not hitting how it's hitting everybody else, man, because we did not hear them. You see, it says, I am the door. By me if any man enter in, he shall be saved. So this is the only way to be saved, man. You got to come out of this garbage. You got to come out of celebrating Thanksgiving. Listen, you're not gonna be saved. Ain't nobody gonna be on the chariot talking about they were just celebrating Thanksgiving. Talk about they were just celebrating Christmas. Talking about praise Jesus. No, that's not. You're not gonna be on a chariot praising no Jesus, man. You gotta have the true names. You gotta have the true power, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, and without it, you don't have anything. It says, and shall go in and out and find pasture. The thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. And that's what he did. He came with what? Catholicism, which ultimately is where you get Christianism, okay? Christianity, all right? Jehovah Witness, okay? All those different Mormonism, all those things stir or stem from, okay? Those are daughter churches of the Catholic Church, man. Okay, which is the same Romans that crucified our Lord. Okay, it says, and to destroy, I am come that they might have life, and that they might have life more abundantly. So the Lord has come that we may have life and have life more abundantly, man. Okay, it's time to wake up.
Discovery that let Columbus, who was lost at sea, land on a continent inhabited by millions and claim to have discovered it. Because there were no people here. The notion of discovery is a racist colonial concept that assumes the dehumanization of people of color. If you don't believe me, I welcome you to put your car keys and your smartphones out in front of you, and I will come by and discover them. Discovery requires the dehumanization of the people who are already there. Otherwise, I would be stealing them. The doctrine of discovery is a systemically racist doctrine. In 1763, King George drew a line down.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload this video up to the channel, and you can go ahead and watch it, man. Go ahead and watch it. But I'm gonna go back to this one before I get ready to close out. We gotta get out. We're gonna go out to camp today, man. We're gonna go out to camp. All right, that's what we're gonna do on Thanksgiving. We're gonna go out to camp. We ain't finna sit around no damn tables with no damn turkey and no gravy. We're gonna go out and do the work of the Lord, man. Revelation chapter 15, verse 4. Who shall not fear thee, O Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and glorify thy name? Amen. Every knee shall bow and every name and every mouth shall confess. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. So you're not going. That's what I'm going to what I said about you ain't gonna be in no chariot praising Jesus Christ, man. Okay, or thinking about Thanksgiving. Anybody who is gonna be saved and delivered out of this place is gonna have to fell from that madness, man. All right, I'm gonna play this video back, grab a couple more scriptures. We're ready to close out.
Christopher Columbus, one of the great European heroes, turns up on the island of Hispaniola. He was welcomed by the native people. They embraced them, they treated them with fantastic hospitality. His soldiers snatched babies from the breasts of their mothers and dashed their heads against the rocks. Children were fed alive to his dogs. Women's breasts were cut off. He decided to hang 13 of the Native Americans in Hispaniola to
And this right here, what you're hearing is where you get the story. Somehow they conjured up the story of the Disney movie Pocahontas. Okay, out of all this, they conjured up the story of the Disney movie Pocahontas.
recreate the crucifixion of Jesus, plus the apostles. It's
And
true that the majority of people...
there you go. You see the mockery? They wanted to recreate the crucifixion of our Lord and the 12 disciples, man. Okay, with the native Indians, showing that those are the true people, man. Those are the Israelites, man. The Native American. If you can't see that the Native American Indians, after all they went through and all they're going through to this day, are the Native American. Are the biblical Hebrew Israelites? Then the Lord is not dealing with you, man. If you can't see that Esau is the so-called Caucasians today, or the so-called white people today, the Most High is not dealing with you. You are lost. You are confused. You have no idea what's going on. That's why you probably over there eating fucking turkey and ham right now, man.
Died there of disease. Disease is introduced by the Europeans unwittingly, but many others were driven to death through overwork, direct murder, through starvation as their resources were taken away. Columbus insisted that everybody bring him a certain amount of gold, and those who failed to do so had their hands cut off. Some were sent back to their villages with their hands and their noses tied around their necks, having been amputated by his soldiers. And what he did there set the pattern for the genocidal extermination of almost all the Native American peoples. 100 million before Columbus made landfall. By the 19th century, that had come down to less than 1 million across the Americas. Overtly endorsed by such revered figures as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, who wrote about the necessity of wiping out Native American peoples. In Britain, we present the colonial project as being about teaching the natives table manners and double-entry bookkeeping. In India, the British manufactured a famine in the 1870s, out of nothing. There were food surpluses, massive amounts of food. But the governor, Lord Lytton, insisted that this food be exported wholesale to Britain. The ensuing starvation killed at least 12 million people, possibly as much as 29 million people. All relief works were banned except...
And the scriptures tell you about a time of tribulation like never before. We coming into this time all over again and worse, man. You see, you look at this, man. We coming into a time like this and worse. Scriptures talk about famines, man, here in America. Here in America. So if you sitting down and enjoying Thanksgiving, or you just sat down and enjoyed Thanksgiving, or you're about to sit down and enjoy Thanksgiving, hey, man, Thanksgiving dinner, think about this, man. Okay, think about this. Because this is going to be you. The Lord has something in store for you, man. This is going to be the most expensive Thanksgiving dinner of the entire pagan holiday. Okay? Ain't going to be no Thanksgiving next year. Ain't going to be no Christmas next year. Lord willing, we ain't going to be here next year, man. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon my tower, and I will see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. You see, and this is what we supposed to be doing. You men out there, man. You're supposed to be upon your watch, man, and upon your tower. Okay, watching, man. Watch as well as pray. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. He may run that readeth it. And the vision is what we're about to read, man. So that when you read this, when you hear this, you're going to run into this word, man, and teach this word. You see? For the vision is yet for an appointed time. And you see, this time hasn't necessarily came yet, but we see it coming, man. It was prophecy. So in our minds, the prophets were before called seers, meaning they were able to see, man. They had the vision, and we were able to see these things, man. So that whenever we read it, we ran, man. And ever since that point, and you brothers that's been in this truth for years, man. And whenever you read it, you ran, and you've been running ever since. Keep running, man. He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but in the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So the things that these prophecies that's prophesied in this Bible is coming, man. Okay. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. So this man can keep it at home. That's why he shows you how he was going across the oceans, man, taking a year and a half, year-long trips, okay, across the ocean, okay, Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his border enlargeth his desire as hell. He enlargeth all. Hey, this man can never have enough, man. Okay, all he does is add unto himself. Okay, and is at death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. He cannot be satisfied. That's why with all this power, when you have so much power that you don't know what to do with, the only thing that you can get left is now raw power over the people. This is why he's telling you that he wants everybody to get the Jabberwocky, man. The McFuckno. Yeah, this is why he's telling you that he wants everybody to be a part of his system, man. He wants to he wants to gather all nations to one world order and heap unto himself all people. You see? Total control. Okay? He plans on getting, they talking about by the end of this winter, you will either be V'd, cured, or dead. What are they talking about, man? They getting ready to come down with all hell, great wrath, and destruction. If you sell at a Thanksgiving dinner in these end times, and you are completely lost, and you are about to be given to the slaughter, man. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which is debt, man. Okay? He increases unto himself that which is not his. Everything he has gotten it wickedly, man.
Out of nothing. There were food surpluses, massive amounts of food. But the governor, Lord Lytton, insisted that this food be exported wholesale to Britain. The ensuing starvation killed at least...
Look at this, man. Look at this. This is going to be America and worse. People going to be eating their own children, man. Okay, you see how fat these Americans is now, man? Hey, all that weight is going to get trimmed down because of starvation, man. Famines. So if you, like I said, if you sit at a Thanksgiving dinner, okay, if you just celebrate Thanksgiving dinner, you better repent, man. You better repent and actually Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, not Jesus and God. Actually Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for mercy, man. Because the Lord about to starve your ass to death. Shall they not rise up suddenly? Thou shalt bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Hey, man, you devils, man. The whole world is about to turn against you, man. You're going to be for booties unto them, man. You know how you got a pirate, and a pirate will conquer a ship, and he says, take all the booty. That means all the riches, all the gold, all the spoils, all the women, all the children for slaves, everything, man. Because thou hast spoiled many nations. You have spoiled many nations, man. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Everybody else on this earth are going to turn against you, man. All your allies are going to turn against you. And we see in the beginning stages of this now, you got all these war talks, going on. And pretty much everybody turning against America. America cannot be trusted. Because of man's blood, for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So of all that blood, man, woe to him that covet an evil covetousness to his house. And to covet something means to, crave something that's not yours, man. Okay? Long for something that's not yours to the point where you will do anything to get it. He that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. You see? So this man set his nest on high. This is how he got where he's at today.
12 million people, possibly as much as 29 million people. All relief works were banned except for hard labour in labour camps, where the inmates received the same rations as the inmates of Buchenwald, and where there was a 94% death rate per year. This was all done in the name of liberal free market capitalism. Of course, the British did something similar in Ireland. In Kenya, soon after the Second World War, there was an uprising by the Kikuyu people who wanted their land back. The Kikuyu were herded into concentration camps and fortified villages, almost the entire population of over 1 million people. People were systematically tortured to death. They invented a new kind of pliers whose purpose was first to crush men's testicles and then to cut them off. They raped women with bayonets. They raped men. Similarly, a favoured technique was to ram sand up the rectum with a stick. Sometimes they were rolled up in barbed wire and kicked around the compound until they bled to death. Some of the British soldiers boasted about this. This is within living memory. The colonial secretary lied about it. The papers documenting it were burnt. The impact of the rich and powerful nations has been so phenomenally murderous and destructive that it has been completely airbrushed from our national consciousness. In order to justify the land-grabbing colonial projects,
land-grabbing colonial projects. You hear that? Land-grabbing colonial projects. This is how they got all this land. This is how they became this man that's in power over the earth as we see it today, man. This is how you got on your dollar. Okay?
The Europeans or the Americans have come to rescue the rest of the world from its depravity and backwardness. But in order to do that, you have to be able to demonstrate that the rest of the world is depraved and backward. From this,
that's where you got the doctrine of discovery that we had just went through. Okay,
arose the racism that is still with us today. It was a necessary component of the colonial project. Some people might claim, well, okay, we broke a few eggs to make this omelette, as if all those human beings were eggs. But look at the omelette. Isn't it fantastic? Look, we made this fantastic omelette. Forget about all that unpleasant stuff and let's just celebrate where we are. Where we are is a continuation of the project. We commodified people's land and people's labor and turned it into our property.
Commodify people's land and people's labor and turn it into their property. That's what they have done, man. In wickedness. Well, guess what? We're going to do it in righteousness, man. And it's going to be payback to all these nations that enslaved us, because all of the land and the labor that was getting taken was from us, man.
So destroying the rest of the living world alongside it. We don't have to be like this. We are the...
So we don't have to be like this. Well, it is like this, man. You should remember off of the movie Training Day. Why? It doesn't have to be like, well, it is like this. This is how these people are, man. Okay? You cannot make straight which the Most High have made crooked. Can an Ethiopian change his skin? Can a leper change his spots? Then him that was accustomed to do evil and wickedness, that's what he gonna do, man. Okay, this man can never be made right. He eventually has to be exterminated off the face of the earth because he is the wicked. All he can do is wickedness. You cannot get no righteousness out of this man. Scripture says if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. If he feeds you or help you or protect you, when he was giving them stimulus checks, he didn't really want to give you that, but he had to do that so he can crash this society so they can bring in that new world order. Wake up, man.
Same human beings as anybody else. We're all part of the same big human family.
Scripture say you shall think yourself to be in a good case because they're giving you stimulus checks. Nah, that's them stimulus checks tells you that, first of all, this country, they're trying to stimulate this country. If you go unconscious, they're going to have to hit you with the beep, 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 1, 2, 3, you know, because you got to stimulate you back to life. You know, stimulate you back to consciousness. Well, that's what they're trying to do with America with those stimulus checks, man. But all it's doing is, you know, showing you that it's putting this country in greater depth and destruction, man.
You just have to recognize that, accept that. And of course, within Western countries, there are plenty of brilliant people resisting colonization, both internal colonization within our own countries and external colonization of other people's countries.
Here you go talking about a bunch of bullshit. But there you go, man. All right. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. And this is what Jake doing now. You got one body in Yahushai said waiting for Yahushai is a waste of time. You got these guys at Sakari saying that we're not going to live forever in the kingdom, and how the book of Hebrews and this, that, and the third. Hey, listen, man. These were those wicked men are persuading many to go after the ways of the heathen. They're trying to get you to go off, man. Okay? So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. That's why I want to touch on the ordinances of the heathen. Thanksgiving is an ordinance of the heathen, man. Birthdays is an ordinance of the heathen. They celebrate their birthdays by, you know, giving each other us as gifts, man. You know, Black Friday, which is tomorrow, it was a celebration of them getting nice deals, cheap deals on us as slaves, man. You got to go into the origin of these things. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. So these are the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. That's why you see niggas over there, licking their chops and rubbing their hands together over the Thanksgiving table. Oh, we about to eat. All they know is eat. Well, guess what? You about to starve, man. It ain't all about eating. It ain't all about food, man. You have to go into the background and the origin of these things, and expose them, man. Okay, and teach your family what it's all about. You and your family should not be celebrating these things, because it is an ordinance of the heathen, customs of the heathen, giving praises and worship to demonic spirits, man. Okay, whatever demonic spirit was on these devils when they were slaughtering those Native American Indians, that's the demons y'all giving thanks to when you sitting down for some damn turkey and some stuffing, man. It ain't that serious. You can eat it any other day, but today is not the day. Okay, Jeremiah chapter 10, and you go into how the cranberry is supposed to be the blood, the stuffing supposed to be the flesh. The turkey supposed to be the flesh, the stuffing supposed to be the insides. All this demonic madness, man. You people can't even see it. You don't see what this is all about. It's in your face. Because after those demons slaughtered those Native Americans, and they retired from slaying and swinging swords, what happened? They was hungry, man. They was hungry, and they cannibalized and ate those people, giving thanks to, whatever demon that they possessed them to do that madness, man. I'm going to end off with this right here. This is Jeremiah chapter 10, because I know Christmas coming up next. Okay. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh spake unto you, O house of Israel, you Israelites, man. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen. The way of the heathen is these pagan holidays, man. These false gods, these false ideologies, these false ordinances, these false religions, these false philosophies, man. Feminism and equality and love for all. That's bullshit, man. It wasn't love for all when it was conquering our lands and putting us in chains, man. But now how convenient. Now it's supposed to be all about love and equality. Now we ain't equal yet, devil. We about to get equal. Okay? Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. Thanksgiving is vain. Okay? Christmas is vain. You having all these Christmas festivals and parades and great death and destructions happening at them. You got people getting ran over. I saw a video where people literally fell through the sidewalk as they was, celebrating a damn Christmas festival, man. The Most High is bringing his judgment upon this earth. And the whole world is going to know, man. Okay, verse, it says, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. I had one guy come on my page and said, this one talking about the Christmas tree. And what is it talking about? I forgot exactly what he said it was talking about, but it was some madness, man. This is what happens, man. For this is a custom of the people are vain. What's a custom? A holiday, a religion. Okay. It says, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands, or the workmen with the axe. So they're cutting trees out of the forest. Because they deck it with silver and with gold. That's why he said it was talking about wooden idols, which is the wooden idol talking about that cross. Which I bet you he probably had one around his neck or on his wall or in his car. Okay. Can't see. People are blind, man. You don't deck a cross with silver and gold. No, a cross, they put a false messiah on there. Okay, but the trees you decking with silver and gold and buttons and ribbons and all types of, glass balls and stuff, man. It says, here's more part. It says they fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not. Why do you fasten it with nails and hammers? They fasten it in their houses, man. They're putting them up in their houses that it move not, so it don't fall down. They are upright as a palm tree. They have them sitting up in their houses, man. We all know about this because we all partook in this madness unknowingly, man. Okay. They are upright as palm trees, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do any good. You see, so all these pagan customs, all these religions, man, is getting found out. It's getting rebuked through the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And in these end times, the truth is starting to flourish, man. Okay, let me grab that. I'm gonna close out with that, and I'm gonna go ahead and head out here. We're running late. Get out here to this damn camp, man. All right. And that guy was about to start talking about all this about let's let bygones be bygones, let's let why can't we be friends and all this madness. But hey, that time for that is over, man. Okay, the time for that is long gone. You had time for all that right here.
Exported wholesale to Britain. The ensuing
You had plenty of time for that right here, man. Okay, so we don't want to hear none of that. Let's let bygones be bygones and yeah, all that shit. It's over with, man. Okay, judgment is coming. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 27. For evil shall be put out, which you see on the screen. This is evil, man. In our kingdom, ain't nobody gonna starve in our kingdom, man. Everybody's gonna be taken care of, man. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So the truth is being declared, man. Okay, and like I said, every Israelite, I must say, let me rephrase that, every Israelite is going to be taken care of in our kingdom, and nobody's going to starve. Meaning even these heathens, when after 1,000 years of hardcore bondage and slavery, they're going to go back to their land, and then they're going to live in peace and harmony under our laws, man. And you Edomites, hey, your ass gonna be in chains for 1,000 years, and they're gonna round all you devils up, and we're gonna exterminate you how you sought to exterminate us, man. You know, you read stories about how they, killed off all the buffalo. They tried to starve out Gad. You devils got hell to pay, man, and you gonna pay. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to close out. This went a little longer than I was expecting it, but I had to do it for the edification. All right. I had to really bring out this lesson and go into, some of these videos and these topics and make sure I got everything before I go. Yeah, that should be everything. I got those videos. Yep. Okay. All praises, man. Call Allah, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. Praise us for edifying to the full elect. With that being said, I'm going to say Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah. Let me go here. Shalakia. I want to end off with this right here, my brother. There we go. Kwam Yasharallah, Abba Ball, man. Abba Ball. It's Kwam Yasharallah. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Akakodash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Kwam Yasharallah, Abba Ball. America's falling, man. All right, our salvation is nigh. All right, with that being said, I'm going to say Shalom. Shalom.